Good morning, His and Her Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, fellow faculty members and staff, and students of Keio University. It is my great pleasure to welcome His Excellency Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, to Keio University. Since February 24th last year, we have been following the war in Ukraine so closely, wishing and praying all the best for Ukrainians and acting to extend our support. Soon after Russia's aggression against Ukraine has started, Keio professors on security and geopolitical regional studies have got together to broadcast YouTube programs to explain our analysis on Ukraine's situation and propose how we can support Ukrainians from Japan. We have also raised funding to welcome 4 university graduates from Ukraine to pursue their graduate studies here at Keio. I'm happy to see some of them here this morning. There are so many ways to be a part of resistance against Putin's Russia. However, it is fair to say that the most direct way to save lives of amazingly brave and dedicated Ukrainians is to extend militaristic support. NATO, together with the US, is at its forefront. 50 years ago, in December 2007, NATO Secretary General Jaap de Hoop Scheffer visited us here at Keio University. Secretary General Stoltenberg, you are the second Secretary General of NATO we welcome at Keio University. However, the world has changed dramatically since 15 years ago, and Japan-NATO cooperation has developed substantially over the past decade. Your visit to Japan as the NATO General this time is imposing a tremendous impact on Japan. 2 weeks ago in the World Economic Forum in Davos, I have heard directly from you that the fight against Putin's Russia is about protecting our values, our democracy. You have also praised the courage and ability of Ukrainians to fight to protect their sovereignty. However, you have also warned us not to underestimate Russia until complete victory is achieved. Today marks exactly 2 years since Aung San Suu Kyi was arrested in coup d'etat by the military in Myanmar. Unfortunately, the democracy is at stake not only in Europe, but also in the world. Keio University is one of the leading academic institutions in Japan. We are proud of our academic contributions in the field of international relations and security studies. Faculty members and students here in this room today are mainly from Department of Politics in the Faculty of Law and the Faculty of Policy Management. While Keio University's school motto is "The pen is mightier than the sword," recent situation in the world has forced us to think what it takes to defend the country and its people. Clearly, the entire world, including universities, are facing new challenges. Keio University's goal is to sustain world peace by the diplomatic means. Therefore, I'm happy to inform you that today's event also marks the pre-opening of Keio University Global Research Institutes. Within these institutes, we are planning to establish Keio Center for Strategy, a new research center that stimulates strategic planning and dialogues at the global level. So Secretary General Stoltenberg, now the floor is yours. We look forward to your remarks and discussions to follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Io, Professor Churuoka. Good morning to everyone. It's great to be here at Keio University. Japan is an important global actor, actively promoting peace and supporting the rules-based international order. This is what NATO stands for too. And for almost 75 years, NATO has ensured peace in the Euro-Atlantic area, allowing democracy, freedom, and prosperity to flourish. But today, the global order that has served us so well for many decades is under threat. Moscow and Beijing are at the forefront of an authoritarian pushback. Russia's war in Ukraine has shattered peace in Europe. North Korea continues to threaten international security through its reckless missile tests. And other global challenges are rising, from terrorism to climate change, cyber threats, and nuclear proliferation. This is our new security reality. A reality that connects all of us who support peace, freedom, and democracy. And a reality that we need to face collectively. Europe and North America together in NATO, working hand in hand with our many partners across the globe, including here in the Indo-Pacific. Last June, I was honored to welcome Prime Minister Kishida to our NATO summit in Madrid. It was the first time he and leaders from our other Indo-Pacific partners, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea, participated together in a NATO summit, a testimony to our growing ties. We may be oceans apart, but our security is closely connected, and we share the same values, interests, and concerns. This includes supporting Ukraine. Almost 1 year ago, President Putin launched a war of aggression against Ukraine to take control over the country and take away people's freedom. This war is not just a European crisis. It is a challenge to global security and global stability. In response, NATO, allies, and our partners around the world, including Japan, have condemned this illegal and unjustifiable war. And we have been providing Ukraine unprecedented assistance. I want to thank Japan for your substantial support. Yesterday, I visited Iruma Air Base and saw for myself the Japanese cargo planes transporting life-saving aid to the Ukrainian people. Our support makes a real difference for the Ukrainians, helping them not only to survive, but also to push back the Russian invader and liberate their territory. Ukraine needs our continued support for as long as it takes, because if Putin wins, the message to Moscow and to Beijing will be that they can achieve what they want through the use of brute force. This would make the world more dangerous and us more vulnerable. At the same time as we support Ukraine, NATO's main priority is to protect our 1 billion people and every inch of Allied territory. To do this, we have been strengthening our military presence, especially in the eastern part of the alliance. We have more troops on high alert, ready to move whenever and wherever needed. Stronger defenses are not to provoke a conflict with Russia, but to prevent the conflict and preserve peace. Meanwhile, Beijing is watching closely and learning lessons that may influence its future decisions. What is happening in Europe today could happen in East Asia tomorrow. China is not NATO's adversary, but its growing assertiveness and its coercive policies have consequences. for your security in the Indo-Pacific and ours in the Euro-Atlantic. We must work together to address them. Beijing is substantially building up its military forces, including nuclear weapons, without any transparency. It is attempting to assert control over the South China Sea and threatening Taiwan, trying to take control of critical infrastructure, including in NATO countries, repressing its own citizens through advanced technology, and spreading Russian disinformation about NATO and the war in Ukraine. Moscow and Beijing are deepening their strategic partnership. The two countries train and operate more together militarily, conducting joint naval and air patrols also in the vicinity of Japan. Their economic cooperation is increasing, and China has not condemned Russia's invasion of Ukraine. A year ago, for the first time ever, China backed Russia's demand that NATO closes its door to new member states. But NATO's door remains open. Soon, two new countries, Finland and Sweden, will join the alliance. This sends a powerful message. Violence and intimidation do not work. This is a more dangerous and competitive world. Our security is not regional, but global. So it is essential to have friends. Among NATO partners, none is closer or more capable than Japan. I'm glad that our long-lasting friendship is growing stronger by the day. In the past, we have worked together on issues ranging from counterterrorism to counter-piracy. Going forward, we will do more together. Yesterday, Prime Minister Kishida and I agreed a joint statement. It sets out our plan to step up NATO-Japan cooperation in areas like cyber defense, new technologies, countering hybrid threats, and upholding the rules-based international order. I also told him that I strongly welcome Japan's historic new national security strategy. And I'm glad that Japan is planning to reach the NATO benchmark of 2% of GDP devoted to defense. This demonstrates that Japan takes international security seriously. It makes you an even more powerful partner for peace. So I look forward to further deepening our cooperation. In a more dangerous world, Japan can count on NATO to stand with you, to promote peace, protect our shared security, and preserve a global system based on norms and values. Thank you so much.